a wide range of IPRs during this period under his leadership, which includes 325 patents, 39 design registrations and trademarks, and around 100 number of technologies are transferred. Institute was awarded the prestigious National IP Award for Best R&D Institution 2019 under his guidance. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bijida Sharath. Okay, fine. Shall I start with, or should I wait for?
Sir, maybe you can start sharing your screen.
Okay.
We'll just wait for maybe couple of minutes and then we can start, sir.
Fine.
Sir, we have 2 hours. The session is of 2 hours, so you can talk for 1.5 hours and then have the remaining half an hour for discussion. Or
Okay.
alternatively, you can break in between and then after 45 minutes you can take a round of questions from the participants and then can resume your session. So whichever is convenient to you, sir.
Thank you. Hope everyone can see my, screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay, thank you. So, Ridish, you can say when should I start? Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir,
Yeah. I hope you are.
sir, you are audible.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Let me start.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Good morning, and I am very much obliged that I am given a chance to present over here. So I am going to present this session with respect to my institute. Okay, how we are developing the concepts into technologies, how we are translating it to the industries, and how we are getting protection for each technology, and what is the significance of IPR in technology transfer from our experience. So before moving into the session, I should explain what Sri Chitra is meant for. Actually, Sri Chitra is a, autonomous institute under Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. So we have 3 units. One is highly specialized patient care. Next one is R&D, public health development and research. And third one is the most important thing, the biomedical technology wing, where we develop products, device development of medical devices. If I could say, what is medical devices? Simply, we can say medical devices is those devices which support life within your body. So, otherwise it is said as medical instrumentation, those devices which support outside your body. We highly target medical devices. As you know, most of the medical devices available in our local market is imported one, and of course it is highly costly, and which indirectly increases the expenses of treatment in India, even though, as you know, many of the specialists working abroad are Indians. We also have that much expertise in the clinical area, but the I mean, the financial crisis which the local public facing in India is rather more. So our mandate is to develop medical devices in a cost-effective manner. So before moving to the next slide, I can explain our is a multidisciplinary area where doctors, engineers, scientists, toxicologists, microbiologists, veterinarians are working in the same platform. So the seed for technology development, we usually we get from the clinicians. The clinicians, the problems they are facing. For example, at the time of surgery, they are facing certain problems. These problems will be presented before us. Us means a team of scientists, engineers, and veterinarians are also there, of course. And these problems, that means we are getting an intangible problem before us. That is our raw material. We will sit on to that problem and the engineers develop designs and concepts for meeting that particular problem. So for example, let me take a heart valve as an example. So the clinicians will be presenting before us the main defects of the available heart valves, and one of the defects may be, of course, cost, obviously, as I said before, and the next one is minimal invasiveness and the life of valves when implanted in the body, and many other problems they will highlight before us. And each problem is considered as a significant raw material for our concept development. Now the engineers develop designs to meet these problems, and the material scientists, biomaterialists, will work on to the materials to which, out of which this prototype of heart valve has to be made of, and the veterinarians will implant this, the prototype into the animals for preclinical studies. And after that, the animal will be sacrificed, and the toxicologist and the pathologist will work on to the developments of each area where the implant is being, the product is implanted. So how the tissues are reacting, and how the material is surviving in vivo, inside the body. And before moving forward, I should say, in vivo means any device working inside the living body. In vitro means we are developing a closed condition inside the lab, almost similar to the in vivo, and we are testing the prototype in the lab. So mostly the most challenging thing is that in vitro analysis, usually every prototypes will be successfully working. But when it is coming into the in vivo, whether inside a living body, the problem started. We have to sacrifice the animals and identify the problems. Now again we have to work on to the problems, and it is a long, strenuous procedure. It is a teamwork. Engineers are working on it, veterinarians are working on it, clinicians are working on it, material scientists, toxicologists, microbiologists. And when this prototype is implanted in the in vivo model, and how the microbes are acting on it, how the tissues are acting on it, and what are the developments, edemas, how the edemas are created out of the foreign body. Of course, this prototype is a foreign body, right? So when the foreign body is implanted, how the tissues are getting edimated, and how it can be reduced. These things, it is of course a strenuous work, and I'm obliged that I can work. I am part of the team. Probably I'm working in technology business division. Once the concept is developed, it is translated to the prototype. Then it is undergoing many experiments. Then preclinical studies, clinical studies, commercialization. Now come to the technology business division, where I am working for. and mostly I'm working for the taking the concepts to the protected mode. So once these concepts are finalized, so then we will go for protection. I will come into it later. Before that, let us see some technologies which are in the pipeline right now for Sri Chitra. Okay. Any questions? Let me proceed.
Sir, yes, sir, you can
Okay,
proceed.
fine. So the technologies in pipeline. This is a fibrin sealant kit. That means fibrin is a protein within the blood. So the kit is being developed out of the original human fibrin, and this kit allows the clotting of wounds, enhances the speed of clotting of wounds, and it helps the wound to be cured fast. Now the second one is bioprosthetic heart valve. As you know, almost the available artificial heart valves are all metal based. Now we are developing prosthetic heart valves from animal tissues. We are developing the prosthetic valves from the animal tissues and trying to incorporate into the human heart. And that research is the prototype is almost okay, and we are expecting a positive outcome in the nearing future. Next one is lint-free absorbent dressing for highly exudating wounds. For example, those persons who have seen this ulcers, for example, diabetic ulcers, varicose ulcers, it will be, leaking with some sort of liquids always, no? And if you are putting the cotton or something over there, you can see it is getting sticking over there, which prevents the new tissues developing out of there. Once we are going for cleaning, the whole new tissues developed will become along with the cotton or whatever it is, packing materials. Now we have gone for lint-free absorbent dressing. This material, when placed in the wounds, it absorbs every exudations without leaving any foreign matter into the body. And these concepts are also of a high potential, and the product is almost ready, and many industries has approached, and you can see in my screen for each for each product I am highlighting the patent application also. I will come into it later. Next one is infant warmer. Infant warmer means especially for this premature infants. Once it got delivered, they will be taken to the infant caring unit of the hospitals. But after getting out of the hospital also, this infant has to be given adequate warming and protections. So this is a portable infant warming device where you can take it to the home. You can keep the infant within the warmer whenever necessary, and you can utilize it. And this is one thing. And next one is aortic stent graft. I am explaining everything in simple words. If there is any doubt, you can ask back. This is another technology where we have been using for aneurysms. Aneurysms means in the blood flow tubes within your body, whether it is arteries, veins, whatever it is. There are certain abnormalities which develop small bulging in different areas. And when this blood pressure gets much in this bulging, it drops. If it is happening in brain, it develops profuse bleeding inside the brain, and it is highly fatal within the cardiac area, even within the legs, thoracic areas, within the abdominal areas, wherever these sort of bleedings occurs, it is highly fatal and very dangerous situation. And we have developed a stent graft where, as you see in the picture, this will divert, this will be implanted within your blood vessels, and this will divert the blood flow without reaching to the bulging, so that the bulging get by itself shrinked, and it will get peeled off in later in due course. Next one is self-setting calcium phosphate cement putty. It is cements used within the dentistries, and it's not quite I mean normal in dental applications, but ours has its own novelty, that its properties are high, that it will stay within the area which it is implanted for a long time than the products which are available in the market. Next one is blood and IV fluid warming system. As you know, in open heart surgeries, the heart will not be working for that particular time of surgeries. So extra corporeal devices will be supporting the life of the patient. So the blood will be circulating in many devices outside your body, right? So this blood, once coming out the body, gets the temperature variations will be there. So before pumping back to the body, it has to be warmed. Okay, so this is a effective warming system. And next one is arterial septal defect occlude. That means in local, I mean in common man's language, everybody will say that ഹാർട്ടിൽ ഒരു കുഴിയുണ്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താ ഒരു ദ്വാരമുണ്ട്, അതായിരുന്നു വലിയ പ്രശ്നം. It has to be rectified. So we have developed a concept or a device that will I mean that with that device it can be closed without much effort. One second, Bessie. So that is one of another device. Again, this is another blood pump, where this acts as an artificial heart at the time of surgery. As I said before, the heart will not be functioning at all during the time of open heart surgeries, and blood pump will be pumping blood at that particular time. Next is electromagnetic blood flow meter. This is another important device, where in the extra corporeal devices, the blood flow, that flow must be controlled. So this device controls the flow during the surgeries outside your body. Next one is warming bassinet. This is also an infant warmer, which can be used in the in houses after getting the infants, especially premature infants, to our houses. Next one is paracorpal left ventricular assist device. This is another cardiac problem. In many of the patients who are facing the cardiac problems, means then left ventricular device, ventricle will be damaged. So usually in those cases we have to go for heart transplantation. So it is, as you know, it is not easy to get a matchable heart. So this patient has to wait till the heart is available. That period, with this device, they can survive. Next one is ceramic resin. Originally molded ceramic resin. This is usually used in dental applications, even in this orthopedic actions also. This acts as cements for the distortions happen to the bones and teeth. Next one is radio opaque liquid embolization device. This is also another, almost similar to the aneurysms happening within your blood vessels. This liquid will be injected to that particular area of aneurysm where their projections of blood vessels are occurred, and this will create a mold along with this blood over there, and it close that projected area without allowing the blood to enter into the projection. Next one is immuno isolation bags. This is another interesting product. That means in certain patients especially with high immunity diseases, that means self immunity will destroy the pancreatic cells. Those patients will be highly diabetic. In that case, we will develop these pancreatic cells within a bag, and you do surgery and put this bag inside your body. This bag will allow only the insulin to go out, and no cells will be coming inside the bag. This is also lifelong application. Next one is programmable hydrocephalus shunt. This is also many of you may be knowing that in certain cases in the brain, the brain fluid get accumulated in many areas that has to be drained out. Usually this is done. This shunt is being surgically incorporated within your brain, and it is directed through under the skin to the abdominal area, and there will be a valve. When the pressure of the liquid is high, it will be opened, and this liquid drain towards your abdominal area. This is programmable hydrocephalus shunt. This is another product. External pneumatic compression equipment for deep vein thrombosis. This is a compression device which compress your veins where the valves are damaged and helps to reinitiate the blood flow. Next is intracranial electrodes. These electrodes are kept in brain to identify where the damage has occurred within the brain. Next one is a flow diverter stent. Flow diverter stent is also diverting the blood flow within your heart. So to prevent further cardiac issues. Albumin as curcumin delivery vehicle. This is another device because this is a conjugate between the blood protein albumin and curcumin. നമ്മുടെ സാധാരണ മഞ്ഞളിന് ആന്റി ക്യാൻസർ എഫക്റ്റ് ഉണ്ട്. മഞ്ഞളും ഈ ബ്ലഡ് പ്രോട്ടീനും കൂടെ ബോണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു ടെക്നോളജിയാണ് ഇത്. ഓങ്കോളജി to sir,
sorry to interrupt, sir. We have a heterogeneous participants, so most of them may not be in a position to understand Malayalam.
Okay. Is it okay? I will go. I will continue in English. Okay. And albumin, this bondage will help to take this curcumin to the cancerous areas. This is another technology. It is already being transferred to the industry. Then radiopaque polymeric microspheres. As I told earlier, there's a liquid which creates a clot within the bulging. This is microspheres. These microspheres also act as a clot when dropped in the bulging areas, provided liquid is used in minimal invasive areas, and this is being used. Microspheres are used in not that much invasive areas. It is easy to drop in the areas. Next one is anti-venom for snake bite. This is also another potential product that we are developing. Anti-venom from egg yolk, from hen egg yolk, we are developing it. These are products about to come out. Next one is bioceramic ceramic balls. This is also used for orthopedics. Bioactive intervertebral spaces, that means for vertebral problems. These spaces will be surgically placed between the vertebra to rectify the vertebral defects. Next one is injectable hydrogel for cartilage repair, especially in the knee joints. The cartilage will be worn out in many cases, as you know. Many patients are suffering out of it. This is injectable hydrogel. This hydrogel will act as a lubricant over there and prevents the cartilage to get burning out. Next potential product is highly oral insulin delivery system for those patients which we cannot go for the IV insulins. Not IV, injection insulins. Now we can use it as tablets. This technology is about to be getting transferred. Next one is skin substitute for burning skins. Skin substitutes have been developed. Chitosan-based polymeric wound dressings. Next is 3D bioprinting for liver constraints. Artificial liver, we are working on artificial liver constraints. Then point of care diagnostics for pulmonary tuberculosis. This is a diagnostic kit for tuberculosis. Next one is PTINR monitoring devices, which helps to monitor the blood values at blood transfusion times. Next is 3D printing of skin tissue constructs, as I said before. Then recombinant growth enhanced wound healing. This is another wound healing application used at the areas of wounds, especially for ulcers, non-curable ulcers. The growth factors taken out of the tissues of the patients will be incorporated over there, which enhances the wound healing. Next, wound healing material from animal extracellular matrix. This is developed out of pig cholecyst's matrix. That means from the intestine of pig, we have developed this healing material, and this will be placed over the ulcers, and this will be drug incorporated, and this is biocompatible. It will be get absorbed to the wound, and the wound healing will be enhanced. Now we will have a quick eye watch on the COVID, what Sri Chitra has done for the COVID pandemic. We have developed a rapid kit for COVID-19, then ambu bag based in ventilator system. That means, as you know, in many serious patients, the ventilator system for COVID treatment is highly inevitable. But out of the survey, we understood that only around 50,000 ventilators are there available whole through India, our nation. So many patients has to wait till the ventilator availability of the ventilator. So we developed ambu bag based ventilator system, which supports the patient till the ventilator is available. Okay. Next is detection system for coronavirus using isothermal amplification. That means this corona, as you know, is a virus. We will identify from this, swab that amplify the specific viruses through a particular technology, and we will identify the percentage of virus content in the body. Then isolation pods for the treatment of COVID patients to support clinicians. They can use the isolation pods. They will sit in the isolation pods and they can monitor the patients. Then rapid viral isolation kit is another one. Next one is Sri Chitra disinfection gateway. It is being used many of the railway stations now. That we will spray this gasified hydrogen sulfide. H2SO4. So which helps to prevent the corona corona spreading. Examination booths, then swabs for getting the swab from your nasal and esophageal outlet. We have developed swabs. Then sample collection booths, polyurethane swab, another swab, UV based face mask disposable. This is another eco-friendly product which disinfect the mask, already used mask, before getting it thrown away in here and there. Okay, especially it can be used in hospitals. Then RT lamp based virus isolation kit, innovative sanitizing technology. We have developed another technology for sanitizing. It can be used as a bracelet. The sanitizer will be there. You can just press the button, the sanitizer will come to the hand and you can use it out. Then viral transport medium. As you know, once the swab, this secretion is taken from your nasal area, it has to be kept in a medium for transferring it to the labs. That viral transport medium has also been developed by Sri Chitra. So these are certain technologies which we have developed and in the pipeline for technology transfer. Some of them have already been get into the memorandum of understandings. So as I said earlier, I told you that we will be having a discussion for the problems with the clinicians, and we get this seeds for technologies from the clinical output. So once the concept is being developed, I will say how we are proceeding it with. One second. So we have nearly 6 phases of concept development. First one is concept. At that point of time, we develop this designs and all. The engineers will be developing. Then proof of concept base. We will try to standardize that concept. Then preclinical evaluation base. Once the concept is standardized, we will try to incorporate that into the animals and study. We must get ethics approval, animal ethics committee approval for proceeding with animal studies. So after that, technology transfer stage. When preclinical evaluation phase is successful, we will advertise our products in our sites. So medical device developers are welcomed at this point of time, and we will be taking care of technology transfer at this stage. And after that only, along with the industries, we will go for the clinical evaluation phase. Clinical evaluation phase, there are many hardships we have to face, and a lot of financial commitments are there. The clinical evaluations has to be done in different areas of the nation, and these are all mandate. So it has to be, we are, as you know, we are a government concern. We will go to the clinical evaluation phase with the help of the industries. Okay. Then the commercialization. Commercialization phase, till the commercialization phase, we will be supporting the industry to translate the product to the market. Only then our responsibility will be over. The benefit which we receive is that the royalty, obviously. How can we get royalty? Only if these concepts are being protected. Okay. So now this is the technology development area. These are the technology development areas. Now I am proceeding into the protection phase. Okay. As I said, at the time of this concept stage itself, we will be having many designs developed. Okay. In some cases, we will go for provisional specific. I think everybody will be knowing about the provisional. The speakers before me might have explained those things. We will file the concepts which we feel it is novel. Before the filing, we will go for a prior art study, and we are equipped with the software for prior art study, and we will do a thorough prior art search, and the most novel concepts, it may be one or more than one, that we will go for provisional spec filing. Then after provisional spec filing, usually the most important thing is that once the concept is identified as a novel one, go for provisional spec filing. After that, we will check for the patentability criteria. As you know, the criteria are novelty, first one, obviously it is important. Next one is non-obviousness or technical advancement or inventive step. Third one is industrial applicability. For what the government is giving protection for you. What government is saying, disclose your ideas, disclose your product to the public. Let public be benefited. For that, you are given protection. So these are the 3 criteria which we will look into. Usually we will do it after provisional spec filing. If we find it, only nominal charge is there for provisional spec filing. I think for legal entities it is 8,000 rupees. So we are for a single concept, if we have gone for 3 filings, and after patentability criteria checking, we find that only one is meeting the patentability criteria, we will abandon the other 2. Sorry. And or if we are finding all the 3 concepts are novel and have adequate patentability criteria, we will proceed with it. Okay. Then so these are the stages. Usually in the concept stage, we will go for provisional spec. By proof of concept, the complete spec might have been filed. Then at that stage of preclinical evaluation, it might be published. Then we will wait for any pre-grant opposition are coming for, and if there is no opposition, we will proceed with the request for examination, and after that we will wait for the first examination report, and many hearings will be there. Then the license will be granted if no we ratified the oppositions. Okay, any doubts? Hello, let me proceed. Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. You can proceed. You can proceed.
Okay. As I said before, once the patent concept we have finalized, it is highly, highly significant. Then we will do a patent landscaping. Patent landscaping is also done by our software, with the help of a software, and the patent landscaping will give a clear picture out how this concept is being treated in different areas of the world, and how many, in which all countries this concept is highly protected, and in which all countries we have potential for further R&D or product development, whatever it is, and what is the least claimed areas of the concept, and how come we can develop out of this concept for further technologies to be developed. And this patent landscaping help us a lot, and we will develop it as a report, patent landscaping report. Usually these patent landscaping reports will be handed over to the industries who are coming for technology transfer, and this will give a prima facie survey of the concepts, and this will support the industry to get into an MOU with us. And these are the steps which we are doing. And patent landscaping also help us to come into a conclusion whether further concepts, further development, further technology developments have to be initiated. And we have, look, we are using the public money for all those things. So we are facing two sort of audits every year. One is performance audit, and another is financial audit. So each and every nook and corner of our procedures are being evaluated year-wise. So we are very much particular that no potential concepts must be excluded, and no non-potential concepts must be included. So we have always taking ample preventive measures for that. Otherwise we will be answerable. Next one is patenting procedure which we are following. That is, once the concept is finalized, we will be drafting the provisional spec in consultation with the inventor, then submitted for provisional spec filing. Then we will wait for 12 months time. Obviously we are waiting for 12 months time. Before that we usually don't go for complete spec filing, because 12 months time we will be getting ample time for the inventors and obviously the technology business division to come into a decision whether how many concepts has to be proceeded. And at the time of complete specification, we are very much particular that the inventors must come out with the data for supporting the claims. Then we will wait for pre-grant publication and pre-grant oppositions, and after that we will go for request for examination, then addressing the first examination reports, then attending the hearings and awaiting granting. So from our experience, till granting of patents, the money involvement is rather minimum. But after, once the patent is granted, we have to maintain the patent for 20 years, and it is highly costly, especially if you are going for PCT or foreign patent filing. It is highly costly. So we have preventive measures for that. So each year we will be evaluating each patents, and we will evaluating the potential and why it is not being commercialized, and if it can be justified, we will proceed, or else we will drop the patents. Okay. procedures after gravity. Once granted, each year we will evaluate the potential of maintaining the patent. Annuity is paid. Form 27, as you may know, we have to file the returns. Form 27, that is statement regarding working of the patented invention for commercialization to the patent office, and we are filing for the granted patents every year after evaluation. Then patent pruning, as I said, the patents which are not potential, identified as a non-potential patents, it will be stopped. So the conditions are industries are not interested for continuing with the IPR protection. In certain concepts, the industries will say, why should we pay this much amount for continuing the patent? Because once the patent is filed, now this technology will be, will last only for few more years. After that, we must go for higher end of technologies. Then there is no need of protection. Then inventor himself identifies a better concept. We will stop the protection. Industrial translation is difficult. In certain cases, initially we will, with all these hardships and trials, we will be thinking that it will be easy for translating the concept to the industrial applications. But after different trials, we will understand that the money factor for translating it into an industrial application is much higher. So there is no need of further protection. Further protection. So we will wait for some more time and interact with the concerned industries. And if it is not being supported, we will stop that and we will try to reduce the cost and come to a consensus. And usually many technologies are being transferred even after that, without without the cancellation of protection. Then in the financial commitments are great. As I said before, I have already explained it out. Then coming to the technology transfer, as the figure denotes, just a research will not support the technology transfer. We are mostly into the product development, so we must, for every research, we must come out with a product. That is a mandate. It must be cost effective and it must be industrial translational. As I said before, if we are finding the industrial translation is difficult at the last stage, the inventor and the technology business division will be answerable for that. So we will be taking every precautions before coming to that stage. But this, as you know, that R&D has its own limitations, and obviously sometimes it happens, but we have to justify it. Okay. Then IPR enables ability to have a competitive edge over other similar business. From our experience, we have translated nearly around hundreds of technologies. 100 technologies, and no industry is taking a product without IPR protection. The IPR protection, especially taken by Srijitra, gives them a security feeling that the product will be protected in the market and their money investment will be safe. So first and the most important requirement for every industry is coming to us for taking up the concepts is that it must be protected. So IPR protection is one of the most important factor for technology transfer as far as our institute is concerned. Then technology transfer refers to the process of conveying results stemming from scientific and technology research to the marketplace to a wider society along with associated skills and procedures, and is as such an intrinsic part of the technological innovation process. And one more thing, all through my talk, I have highlighted patents because obviously we are a product development, a process development area, but we have adequate number of design registrations and trademarks as well. Okay. And most interesting thing for this design registration, in certain medical device applications, the significance of medical devices will never end even after 20 years of patent protection. After 20 years of patent protection, that technology is into the public, anyone can manufacture it. So in those, our technologies after 20 years, still, if we are feeling still it has value, we will go for design registrations, we will develop novel designs for the same concepts, and we will file the design registration, and we are ongoing with those technologies protected by design registrations. If you have any sort of doubts, I will clarify at the time of interaction. This is my contact details, and thank you. Radish?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, so we open the forum for questions. Since I think there are no questions in the chat box, I would request the participants to kindly unmute and you can ask your questions directly to the resource person.
Hello? Anybody there?
Hello,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah, sir. So my name is Faris. I'm a research scholar at IUCI PRS KUSAT.
Okay.
So my question is that as a public institution, Sri Chitra itself, the main motive will be public good, and the access will be the main thing. So once you are stressing more into the patents, does the patents pose as a hindrance to the access? It will increase the rate of the especially when it comes to the medical devices and all. So what is your call on that? Does it actually pose a hindrance to the access?
Look, Mr. Mohammed Faris, it is a nice question. Thank you for the question. And during my talk itself, I referred, we are mere technology developers. We cannot commercialize, we cannot make the technology, the concept into the market or to the public without an industry taking it up. So, any industry, I mean, investing money for the production, the minimal protection must be guaranteed. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
That is, without IPR, it cannot be entertained. That is the one most important thing. Next one is, as I said before, in Indian public, especially in medical device development, the competitors are the high-end corporate medical device manufacturers from outside. So, to prevent them to copy our technology, we are suffering a lot to develop and come out as a, as a government concern, as a Indian technology developer. I can very well say that without protection, we cannot compete with corporate intruders. So the first preference must be given for the industries who are taking the technologies. Only if industries taking the technology are competent enough to translate that into the product will be available for the market, isn't it? So that must be ensured first. After that, we have taken one step for getting our concept in a cost-effective manner to the public. At the time of this MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, we have added a clause that the cost of the product which is coming into the market must not go above a particular limit. We will conduct a cost study and we will add this clause. So we ensure that all our concepts are into the market in a cost-effective manner. Hope you understand and your doubt is clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Sir, I have a question.
Please.
So since you're talking about inventions which are originating from public funded institutions, and you said you have clauses on on actually preventing price rise. So my question is, is there an ideal manner or an ideal licensing agreement wherein you can pursue public interest on a higher footing?
Absolutely. We have two types of MOUs. That means in certain cases, Srijitra will hold the IPR and we will transfer the product alone. In such a manner, an MOU will be kept. And as I said before, to a question from another candidate, we will highlight that after the production, after the clinical evaluation, in the commercialization status, the product must come into the market in a break-even price. That is one step. Next one is, we will give the opportunity to the industry to share the IPR also. So that the IPR sharing, if they are doing it with, they will be very much particular that if it is not beneficiary, they will not continue with it. So we have our own clauses stating that our prime mandate is that our concepts of medical device development must translate into a product which is in a cost-effective manner, and it must be used in the Indian public, especially in Indian public, in a cost-effective, as a cost-effective manner. So whatever clauses, there is no, standardized format for the MOUs. It is all case-to-case basis developed. But we will be always, interested and very particular to keep up our products in a cost-effective manner in the market.
Okay. Sir, one more thing. What are the, initially when you started off into licensing, what are the problems that you faced? Because when you have ownership of IPR to a public funded institute, you may find that the industry may not be very receptive.
No, it is not like that. Maybe because of our well-wish. We have given ample access to the industry, and we will ask them that whether they can share the maintenance of patent. If they are willing, we will share under the licensing agreement clauses. There are provision for that as well. But usually, they will support IPR to be maintained by Srijitra, because obviously that may be the well-wish of Srijitra. And we have another clause in the agreement that if the industry is not abiding to the clauses in the MOU, we have all the credits to translate that product to another industry. And in some cases, we will transfer to the technology to the multiple industries. So okay, these are steps taken for the for our product to be commercialized to the Indian public in a cost-effective manner.
Okay. Sir, do you also assign your patent rights, or do you only license and share your patent rights?
Usually we license and share our patent rights. No assignment is there. Okay. Assignments are there usually when the project of the product development is developed with other institutes. So at that point of time, we will be having an MOU and we will share the applicantship and applicantship with the funding agencies like ICMR, DBT, then even the industries has that provisions.
Fine.
Yeah.
So, Vijita, can you please post it to the...
Yeah, sir. Sir, there are some questions in the chat box. Can we apply for a patent for a software integrated with hardware for biomedical application?
Yeah. We can go for that. Definitely, we have done that. Especially softwares are. There are many loopholes in patent laws, obviously, as you know more than me. But we have taken patent application for mobile applications that indirectly, it directly works the hardware, especially the those implants. We have taken patent for that, and we got granted patents for that. Another one?
The next
one?
question is, so with connectivity to technology of management, how can we file patents? Because social sciences are very much limited with patents. Can you suggest any topics to raise patents in MGT?
Pardon, can you repeat the question once more? I didn't get it.
With connectivity to technology of management, how can we file patents? Because social sciences are very much limited with patents. Can you suggest any topics to raise patents in MGT?
Yeah, look,
I mean,
for
management.
for patenting, it is exclusively for product and processes. We cannot go for patent for methods of management models. That is very clear. We cannot. It is for product and process only. Patent can be done. For models, I think the IPR is copyright. I am not that much used with that. Even then, with my background of which I have gone through the, Act, we must go for copyright, I think. Then this is exclusively for product and process only. Patent protection is exclusively for product and patent. That is the ultimate thing all over the world. Hope it is clear.
Any more questions? I think, sir, it's over. I would like to request Sri Lakshmi to deliver. Thanks.
Good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Yeah, please.
Yes. On behalf of the IUC APRS family and all the participants, I thank Raj Krishna sir for such an interesting and enlightening section. And it is really interesting to see the detailed list of medical inventions coming out of the Sri Chitra Institute, and which will be beneficial for the betterment of life and medical fields. And I strongly believe that we all have a good takeaway out of the session. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable time and in sharing your practical experiences. And I also thank the participants for their active participation and time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let me switch out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Participants, it's lunch break now. Afternoon session will be starting at 2 o'clock. It's focusing on patent literature as a tool for technology landscape. Going to be